BG Sports Chaos. And PB, it's that time of year. We got playoffs. We're talking playoffs. Yes, we are talking playoffs. We got NBA playoffs today. First up, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. And by the way, I see you're fortified with a little nutrient from what brew is that? A little Bud Light?
Snore like.
Oh, Miller Lite. I happen to have a Dunkin' Donuts special right now. I believe you can't buy what I have in this Dunkin' Donuts cup at Dunkin' Donuts. That's all I'm going to say about it. Let's get to the NBA. The play-ins are over. Jar is out. I'm so happy about that. I think he's a punk. I don't want to see him in the playoffs ever again. So thank God. Let's get into the West. Let's start right out. Who do you like in the first round series between Oklahoma City and the Grizz? Oh, actually, the Grizz are in. Oh my God, I made a mistake. The Grizz
Yeah,
are in. Sorry,
yeah, they
but
beat
they
the
got to be out after
Mavericks.
this.
Yeah, they beat the Mavericks. So Ja is in there. Um, I mean, Oklahoma City obviously top team in the NBA, right? I mean, last year they were also the top seed though, and they did get eliminated before they made it to the finals. I don't think they get eliminated in the first round though. As a Celtics fan, I think it would be nice if Oklahoma City does get eliminated at some point along the way, so we're not facing the best team in the NBA.
Great.
But that being said, I don't think the first round is enough of a challenge for them, and I think they win that series probably in five.
I agree with you. I think the most compelling series in the West is this next one. It's number 4, Denver, hosting number 5, Clippers, who are on a roll. If I'm not mistaken, they're like 20-5 in the last 25 games. Kawhi is finally healthy, which I can't reward a guy for sitting out the whole year. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going Denver. I think Clippers are a better team at the moment, but I think Joker, who should be the MVP, he won't be because SGA will get that. But Joker should be the MVP again. But Denver
Yeah.
pulls that out. I think it's going to go 7 though.
Yeah, you know what? I have the same exact thing. I have Denver in seven, and I think Jokic is the difference in that series. So he's got to step up and play. I'll tell you though, what's interesting about the West is once you get to that second team and you go down to the last team, like 4 games separates those. And if you want to go from the third team to the last team, it's 2 games that separates them. So every one of these series to me is going to be could go either way.
Oh, speaking of that, let's pick Rockets and Golden State. Golden State had to win a play-in game to get there, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler has been, as much as I don't want to root for Jimmy Butler, he has proven to be big game, big time, playoff Jimmy, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
He's proven to be the real deal. And Steph is Steph, right? And the other punk there, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Why can't I think of his name now? The guy that always gets in trouble. But anyways, he's playing smart for once.
Yeah, I think Golden State, they're kind of like the Houston Astros, I think, of like the NBA. You know, that's how I look at them. They're talented. It doesn't matter how they get into the playoffs, as long as they're in there,
Yeah.
they're going to come up and play big in the playoffs. So I think the same with Golden State. I think it's a tough series, though, to your point. The Clippers are playing hot. I still like the Warriors, though. I mean, I'm sorry, Houston's hot. Is it Houston they're playing, right? Golden State and
Houston,
Houston?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's Houston. I'm going to go Golden State in this series, but in seven.
I'm with you as well. Upset right here because I think Houston is the number 2 seed, if I'm not mistaken. And I
Yeah.
definitely see Golden State winning because of Jimmy Buckets, carrying them, playoff Jimmy, whatever you want to call him. And by the way, Dylan the villain, Dylan Brooks plays for Houston, and he has a history of blowing up in a bad way against Golden State. I see him getting technicals at the wrong time, and that's going to cost them. And when you got a guy like Steph shooting free throws, boom, right?
Okay. So we so far we're like exact. Did you have OKC in five or
I see OKC winning that thing in a sweep.
in a sweep? Okay, but then we both have the rest. We both had OKC though. And we
Yeah.
both have Denver in seven, Golden State in seven. Wow. Pretty
Yeah,
similar
by
so
the way,
far.
I can't believe I drew a blank on Draymond. Draymond Green is the guy,
Draymond.
right? I think as long as he keeps his nose clean and lets Dylan get the technical fouls, Warriors win that series. All right, here's the one. It's going to be interesting in my mind. You got the Lakers playing the Timberwolves. Timberwolves last year were a much higher seed go in the playoffs. Lakers are now what, the 3 seed, if I'm not mistaken, right? Timberwolves
Yep.
are the 6 seed.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about this, but as you know, PB, the one guy who I think, other than Kyrie, even though he's won one, will never win again. The one guy who'll never win, even though he's an offensive talent beyond, redeem. It's LuKA, but he can't play defense. The Celtics exposed him last year. That's why they won in 5 games. LuKA will get exposed in this series as well. I got the Rockets winning this thing. I mean, I'm not the Rockets, the Timberwolves. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. This is where we're going to differ a little bit. I think the Lakers just with Doncic, I think that makes a difference. I know he doesn't play defense and he got exposed, and everything you said is true, but they have some other guys that can help out in that area, and I think he does step up big in the series. I'm looking at a Lakers in 6. I would love to see a Lakers Celtics final. I don't think the Lakers can get that far, but I think they can win the series. Again, you're talking about 2 teams that essentially have the same record in the regular season.
Celtics Lakers, just for the historical sense of that thing, and go 19-17 up on the Lakers. I actually want to see Golden State. I don't know if they'll get there either, but I'd like to see the Celtics redeem themselves for that loss 3 years ago to Golden State. So that's what I would prefer to see. All right, let's move over to the East. You got Cleveland. They play the Heat, who won that play-in game, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Heat, they're feisty, man. You know, it's all Spoelstra. Spoelstra's an excellent coach.
Yep.
His guys step up and play. Mitchell had a game and a half, or second half, I should say, and a half yesterday to beat Atlanta in an overtime, right? I would love to see Cleveland lose. As a Celtics fan, we want Cleveland out. We want OKC out. We want those 2 teams out of the picture. If any team as an 8 can potentially upset a 1, it's this Miami team to upset Cleveland. But I can't pick them. I just can't, given the dominance Cleveland played throughout the year. But I think Miami does pick up a game or 2 on this. So I'm going to say it takes 6 for Cleveland to win that series.
It's the other Mitchell in this game. It's Donovan Mitchell. He carries Cleveland to a 5-game victory. They're done in 5, Miami.
Yeah. And Mitchell's healthy again. He's back. So you're right. It's going to be
Jared Allen. I mean, they're playing well. They're playing well. To your point, I'd like to see them lose, but to your point, Celtics don't want to see them. But the next series could help us out a lot. It's the Pacers-Bucks. Pacers go in as the 4 seed in this one. Again, another 4-5, just like in the West. That's going to be epic, I think, at the end of the day, much like Denver and the Clippers. Pacers-Bucks. Dame Lillard is supposed to be back by game 2, no later than game 3. That's a big asset. Giannis is on a roll. Clippers, as hard as they are, Giannis is the hardest player in the game over the last 25 at this point in time.
Yeah, I think they have to exploit the fact that Lillard's out for that first game and take that first game at home, especially because they're the 4, right? Indy, in the series, so they have the home court advantage, and I think they can carry this all the way to game 7. And it'll be a game 7 back in Indiana, and I'm going to take the Pacers in this one in 7.
Last year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see it happening again. I think the Bucks this time take care of business. They move on. Giannis plays an epic series. I get the Bucks. All right, Knicks in Detroit. This one's going to be interesting. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, and this is who the Celtics will play in the second round, right?
Yep.
Assuming the Celtics win in the first round over Orlando, which I'm sure we're both going to pick them. I'd rather play Detroit. The Knicks are like one of those kind of feisty, scrappy teams, but I think the Knicks win this one in 6.
Detroit has actually played Boston much tougher than Knicks this year. I'm afraid of Detroit, and for that fact, unfortunately, I think they beat the Knicks, and the Celtics going to have a fight on their hands in round 2. But I think Detroit with Cade Cunningham and the boys, they're playing feisty. I like them over the Knicks. I get Detroit winning that thing in 6.
Okay.
All right, Celtics Magic. You already said you've already pretty much said you got the Celtics this one. Celtics are 1-2 versus 2 teams in the East this year. One is none other than the Magic, and the other one is the team that the Magic beat in the play-in game. So thank God they don't have to play that team. But Celtics going to struggle a little bit, I think. They're not going to go 4-0, 4-1, 4-0, 4-1, or whatever it was like last year. I think this, believe it or not, this might go 6 games.
Wow. Okay.
And the Jaylen Brown injury, it's not being talked about enough. That I know. I actually heard firsthand, though, the other day. I was at an event in the Boston Garden. I heard firsthand from the IT director of the Boston Celtics. He's been at the practices. He's talking to the players. They all say Jalen's moving around just like Jalen. We'll see. I hope that's true. But that knee injury could be a problem. But I got Celtics winning this thing in 6.
All right, I have the Celtics in 5. I mean, if not a sweep, I know that regular season, but regular season doesn't mean anything come playoff time. I don't even know if I had to look back and see who the Celtics didn't play in those games against Orlando. Maybe Tatum wasn't even playing in those games, or maybe Brown wasn't playing, or both of them.
2 of the 3 games that the big three didn't play, members of the big three. So, all right,
Yeah.
let's go to the Western Conference in the semis to go to the conference finals. Who do you like there?
Um, I like Boston and Cleveland.
All right, stay in the East then. Okay, so you got
Yeah.
Boston beating. You've got the Knicks
Boston beating
going.
the Knicks. I had
Okay,
Boston beating the Knicks, and I have Cleveland beating Indy.
I got Boston beating the Detroit. That one they wake up. That game's over in 5. That series is over in 5. As much as I want to see the Bucks, I mean, I kind of like the Bucks. I don't like Cleveland. I think they're. I don't know why I don't like Cleveland. I just don't like them. But I think Cleveland wins and advances to the finals to the Celtics. All right, let's go out west. Who do you like in the Oklahoma City? I got OKC versus Denver. I think you had the Clippers, right?
Yeah, I have OKC. I'm going to put OKC up against the Lakers though in the final.
In the finals.
Yeah.
I got OKC Minnesota, the young guns. Anthony
All right.
Edwards surprises, and I had the Lakers getting knocked out. So, but Anthony Edwards plays a big game. And another guy I don't know if I'm fond of, much like Ja Morant, needs to zip up a little bit. Stop being such a big, it's all about me guy. Play physical, play a great game, but don't be a braggart. Come on, play. OKC with SGA. Gotta love him. I got OKC coming out of that, though. I got them going to the finals as much as we don't want to see it. They beat Minnesota in 5. They handled Minnesota easily, in my opinion. Minnesota gets lucky to get in there. Who do you think goes to the finals from the conference in the West?
Yep, I have OKC as well. Just beating the Lakers instead, and they could probably do that in about 5 or 6. I agree. They should dominate all the way through to the finals. Last year they didn't though. Last year they were the 1 seed as well, and they didn't. So, but let's be real. They have the best team in the NBA. So I'm looking at OKC, and I got Boston over Cleveland in the finals, and I got a Boston OKC final.
OKC did not have Chet Holmgren last year for the playoffs, so he's back this year. He's healthy right now. I don't know if I'm in favor of the guy that's built like this thick, but anyways, 7'1", 162 pounds, I think he is. But he is a player, though. We got to give him credit for that. He does make shots. He is a playmaker. SGA happens to love the guy. I get the Thunder going against the Celtics. So who do you like to win it all?
Yeah, I got the Celtics in a repeat situation. I think they just step it up another notch. And if they can do what they did last year in the playoffs and just kind of play some 4 and 5 game series and give themselves a chance to rest and shoot the rock from 3, I think this team can beat anybody. So I'm going to put them as a repeat champion.
Some noise in this playoffs and carry teams, further than most people thought, or carry them anyways outside of the guys that we expect. So give me a couple of wild card players. I'll give you one right now. He's not really a wild card, but he is in this roster. It's Al Horford.
Yeah.
Al has taken a little bit of a backseat this year, but every time he plays, he looks fresh. I get Al Horford and always Derek White, but Al Horford for sure. Anybody else you think of?
I'd say Pritchard.
Yep.
Pritchard comes on off the bench and, he gives them a spark. He can drain those threes like no tomorrow. I like Pritchard as a little wild card.
The guy, and again, I mentioned Chet Holmgren playing for the Thunder, but the guy they picked up in the offseason from the Knicks, Josh Hartenstein, he's been an influence them physically. He's the physical impact player. He's a guy that concerns me because I think he'll bruise Kristaps Porzingis and definitely Horford. And so he's a guy that makes me a little nervous when we face off against them, if we do, in the finals. That's a guy I'm a little bit concerned of. And they got this guy, Jalen Williams, who's not, actually, I think he was an all-star, but everybody talks about SGA and Holmgren. Jalen Williams is going to be a tough factor as well. That's where Jaylen Brown's injury, if he doesn't get over it before then, will be an impact. Because if he can't stop Jalen Williams, Thunder could be trouble.
So in the end, what do you got? I'll take the Celtics in 7 to repeat.
I don't want to go 7 because it's at Thunder.
Yeah, that's true.
I want it in New York. I want it in Boston in Game 6. We got to get it over in Game 6 in Boston, much like 1986, a game. I think you said you were there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, man. Next up will be the NHL playoffs. Good show.
All right.